Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer, welcome back to American Truck Simulator, and welcome back to, I think we're in Las Vegas. Yeah, we are. We drove from Salina. We drove from central Utah down to Las Vegas last episode. I was going to take us all the way, that's a good looking sentence you made there, Will. I was going to take us the rest of the way into Yuma off camera. But man, it's been an interesting couple of days. So I'm going to take us in on camera. So we just slept through the night. I think because this trip is so long, we got plenty of time to get there. So in fact, we can check right now. We got another 8 hours of drive time. And to get there, we have 10 hours. Yeah, so we'll be fine. So we'll go back to the map. Off and off. Hop in here. Brake is off. Put her in gear. I think we have enough fuel to get there, but if not, we'll just stop and get some. You know, not a big deal. So, man, it's Friday for me. It's Saturday for you. I hope everybody had a good week. I hope everybody is having a good weekend so far. Let me tell you how it went down. I really want to bring racing to the channel. And I need to see what kind of racing you all like the best. So I've done some Assetto Corsa Competizione. I did an Assetto Corsa video the other day that I really liked. It was an assemblage of mods, and I really like the way that turned out. It's doing okay for my channel. You know, we scale everything down here at the Portable Gamer, but for a small channel, the way that video is tracking is making me happy. So I want to continue doing that, making race videos, but I need to mix it up a little bit and see what you like. So, yesterday, in order to post today, I did the GP of France in career mode in F1 2019. And it turned out to be a really good race. I'm in the Racing Point, well, I think of it as the Racing Point Mercedes, because it's got a Mercedes motor in it, and that's the whole reason I picked that team for career mode, is that they're running the Mercedes motor, but they're not Mercedes. And I feel like it's like every team, you know, Red Bull has Toro Rosso. I know they're not super affiliated as they used to be, and Ferrari has Alfa Romeo, which is not really Alfa Romeo in the same way that Red Bull is not really Aston Martin. And you know how it goes. There's affiliate teams, development teams, subsidiary teams. And I guess that's what Racing Point is to the Mercedes factory team, the works team. And it was either one of those or, you know, Williams, McLaren, not really into either of those. Renault, not really, you know. So I went with Racing Point. And it's the sim, I call it a sim. It gets a bad rap. A lot of people call it an arcade game. Gets some hate. I don't know. I love it. But I know they do a lot of patching and balance of power stuff to try to make the cars in the game representative of the actual development status or balance of power status, balance of performance status for the real cars. And I think they do a pretty good job of it. Although some of that, you know, is in the hands of the driver. I don't know if you put, you know, Hamilton or Vettel or Verstappen in a McLaren, how would that car do? I might not be on the podium, but I'm thinking it would do better. So balance of performance, I think, has a little bit to do with the drivers for that team as well. Anyway, story for another day. I think they nail it pretty well. And I'm comfortable in the Racing Point. I'm not looking to win races at this time. I just want to do well. And we're round 8. Yeah, France is round 8, or it was in 2019. And we are 5th in the points, and then Perez, my teammate, is 6th in the points. And that works for me. I think that's about where Racing Point could expect to be. So, very happy. So I do this race in France, and had to really fight for it. Sorry, concentrating. Had to really fight for it, but we took 4th. And I was really pushing. We were about 10 seconds off podium spot, you know, with, I don't know, 8 laps to go or something. We're 10 seconds back from 3rd. So not likely to happen, but we were fighting to hang on to fourth, and it was a really, really good race. And I looked down what I did was I recorded in cockpit, and then I was going to record the replay and splice them together, trying to find ways to make racing interesting. And I think that's one way to do it, is to have cockpit cam or a cockpit recording as the primary video, and then up in the corner the broadcast coverage, so you can get a little bit better idea of where the other cars are, sir, and that sort of thing. And I look down and I realize it's not recording. I thought it was, but it's not recording. And it takes a weekend, an F1 weekend takes me a few hours to do. I mean, the race itself takes almost an hour. Qualifying, well, practice, development testing to get the development points and all of it. It's a long session, and I tend to do it in one session, because after I've done practice, then I want to immediately hop into qualifying, and once I've done qualifying, I immediately want to hop into the race. I don't like to take a pause, because I feel like I'll lose my mojo. So yeah, didn't record that race, and I have to say I was a little bit down about that. I was devastated isn't the right word, but it's tricky, man. It is. It's trying to. It's not just that it has to be a race, but it has to be, something has to be going on. If I'm just kind of all by myself in fourth place, what fun is that? You know how F1 goes, procession racing, the field spreads out, and the second half of the race there's not a lot of passing, or at least there's not a lot of passing where I am, right? That's still fun to watch. I'm just doing hot laps. So it was, I was fighting for fourth, and it would have made for a good video. And so it was really kind of one of those moments. Really. So I woke up today, and I thought, I need to record Truck Sim today, Friday, to post on Saturday. But I also want to post a race video today, and since they're typically shorter, 5 or 6 minutes versus 30 minutes, I can record that and render that a lot quicker. Well, I take that back. I can't necessarily record it quicker because I still have to do a full race, but I can render it a lot faster. It's 10% the length of a regular video. And so I did round 2 of career mode in Assetto Corsa Competizione, which is Brands Hatch. Not one of my favorite tracks. I mean, I like the idea of Brands Hatch, and as an icon, I totally appreciate it and respect it, and it's very, very cool. The whole track is, you're basically just like throwing yourself into blind turns. It's a very British track in that way. It's like Oulton Park, it's like Donington. You're just kind of throwing the car over the crest of hills, and there's something. Every culture, every country, I feel like, has its own flavor of racing, and in that way it is, to me, a very British track. And so I like that aspect of it. I just don't actually like racing on it. It's nerve-wracking. It is, because every time you throw the car over a hill, it feels like you're throwing your car over a hill. You can barely see it, but that's the Hoover Dam out there. So I did the race, and same thing. I had a bad pit stop. Came out of the mandatory pit stop, mid-race mandatory pit stop in 7th, and had 20 minutes to fight my way back up. I had good pace, but I had 20 minutes to fight my way back up, and I did. And I passed for the lead with 2 laps to go. And same thing. I realized that Shadowplay was not recording. And that was race 1. There's 2 races, 2 40-minute races. So same format, practice, qualifying, 2 qualifying, Q1, Q2, and then 2 races, which is, that's how Blancpain is set up. And again, didn't capture. So something's going on with Shadowplay, and I don't know. I think what happened is GeForce updated, and when it updates, it I don't know. It doesn't update, actually. I said that wrong. It notifies itself of an update, and it sort of turns off, And then you update, and then everything is good to go. But it's anyway. You don't care about any of that. I'm trying to make some racing videos for you. I'll make one for you for Sunday. Promise. Sunday's race day everywhere. The whole world races on Sunday. So I will race tomorrow, Saturday, and get that posted for you. Right. Anyway. What else is going on? You know, I'm looking for the perfect shooter for me. I think the perfect shooter for me is Squad. But it is so unbelievably difficult. The learning curve is steep, nigh vertical. That game is something else, man. And I don't know. Communities. I know there are good gaming communities. I know there are. And I know there are good clans and good groups, and you know, they're just hard to find. And when you do find one, they're not necessarily looking for new members. So it is, I mean, unless I'm actually going to pay somebody to train me in Squad. No joke. There are people that do that for money. Unless I'm going to do that, and I'm not going to do that, I don't know how to get good at Squad, because it seems that every time I play, I end up with a group of random people. There's virtually no organization, and everybody just runs around and gets killed. And I'd say probably quarter to a third of the servers that I've been on have been, yeah, there's been some teabagging. It's, you know, it's not necessarily the most adult or professional. Yeah, probably not the right word. Hasn't been the most adult environment. I like having fun when I play video games. I do. I'm concentrating here. Oh, right. Getting to a town. That's why everybody's slowing down. I like having fun when I play video games. I guess different people have fun in different ways. That sort of behavior, not only do I not find it personally to be enjoyable to do, but obviously when other people are doing it, it's extremely annoying, as it's intended to be, I suppose. So that's Squad. There's Escape from Tarkov. I really, I like the look of that game. The look of that game. But, how do I want to say this? I used to play poker. When I lived in LA, I used to play poker for money. I never made a fortune, but I've made some money. And girl that I was dating at the time, her brother was in college. He was in a fraternity. And he would ask me to come sit in on their games, right? They're having poker night at the fraternity. Do you want to come? Sure. You know, $200 buy-in, $100 rebuys, that sort of thing. And I would leave with like $1,000. And it concerned me every time, because I thought, these guys are going to like beat my ass in the driveway. They're going to take their money back. They're not happy about this. But they actually loved it. They thought it was hilarious. And it was, you know, I was like some big-time poker player that had come to their little fraternity poker night, you know. So they loved it. You know, like I was a celebrity or something. Not a celebrity. I'd go to the Hustler in Gardena, which is actually a really nice place. You hear the Hustler Casino and you think, oh God, it's going to be like a truck stop. It's going to be like a dive bar. It's a really nice place. It's a really nice place. And they have some higher stakes tables. Well, I mean, they have high stakes tables in the back, like roped off. But they have higher stakes tables. And, you know, I played 2-5. And, you know, 2-5, so that sounds like pretty small stakes. If you play poker, that sounds like pretty small stakes. 2-5, come on, man. But you end up with, you know, $300 and $400 and $500 pots pretty quickly. It's yeah, you can make some money. You can lose some money too. But I think my net for all the time that I played poker for money is positive. So I made money playing poker. May not have made a lot, but I didn't lose any money playing poker. Why am I telling you this? Well, the thing about poker is, for people to win, approximately 5% of people that play poker for money make money. Another 10% break even. The other 85% lose money. You need some bunnies in this world, is what I'm saying. You gotta have some bunnies. That was the point of that. A little poker tangent. You gotta have bunnies. Well, Escape from Tarkov, from everything that I understand about it, similar principle. For Tarkov to work, you gotta have bunnies. And there are some people that have played the game very seriously. It's still in early access, is it not? It's not quite out. Still in development. And there are people that have been playing it from day one. There are people that have been playing it from the beta. And they're geared up, and they know all the maps, and they'll kick your ass and take your stuff. And that's the thing about Tarkov is, it's the gear fear is real, because what you take out of the raid is yours, but what you lose in the raid is somebody else's. Now, you can make money to buy new gear, and I believe, I haven't spent any time in the game. I don't own it. I've never played it. But from what I understand about it, it's got sort of a blueprint system where there's the ability to recreate things that you've had for money. You can buy them, right, with money that you make, doing other things that are a little bit less risky and fear intensive. But bottom line is, people will kill you and take your shit. That's the whole point of Tarkov, right? I saw on Reddit, somebody was like, hey man, it's not called, have a safe planned departure from Tarkov. It's, it's escape from Tarkov. Escape with your gear. And I just don't know if I'm ready for that commitment, because we're not all starting at the same time. I mean, very few people have started a game on day one. I didn't start Truck Sim on day one. I jumped into it. I didn't start iRacing on day one. I jumped into it. I feel like I can hold my own. So with enough time, maybe I could figure out Escape from Tarkov, but I'm intimidated by the game. I'm intimidated by Tarkov in the same way I'm intimidated by Squad. But in Squad, nobody's going to take all your stuff that you worked for. I've heard people say that in 10 minutes you can lose what it took you 10 hours to get. Ooh. And also, Tarkov is definitely a very teabagging environment. There's definitely some, there's some, it's that kind of game. So, I don't know. I reinstalled Ghost Recon Wildlands. It's actually kind of cartoony compared to Breakpoint. The AI, the enemy AI, is a lot more goofy, hokey. It's like aimbot aim. The enemy AI has like aimbot aim. Some guy will just like jump out of a bush with 2 Uzis and hip fire and hit you from like a football field away. Meanwhile, you with the sniper rifle, So it's I don't know. I feel like I can't find my perfect shooter. I can't find the game that is all things, everything I want it to be. Or if I have, I'm just a little put off by the idea of jumping into it. If it is Squad. So, I don't know. And then on top of that, something that I have to kind of think about is, what does it do for the channel? Because I'm actually starting to put some money into this. I'm not sure why our wheels are... I don't know if you saw that Highway Patrol SUV as it pulled up to us. Tangent! I don't know if you saw that Highway Patrol SUV as it pulled up, but it took a minute for the wheels to load. It's been doing that more and more. Come on, SSD. Get it together. What was I talking about? Yeah, I'm starting to put some money into this. I don't mind, but I feel like the growth of the channel is exponential. It's getting bigger and bigger. Still small, but getting bigger. I always have to say that, because every time I say, yeah, it's getting bigger, I feel like I'm saying it's getting big. It's not getting big. It's just getting bigger. So I'm starting to put some money into it. I'm putting some time into it as well. And things like Escape from Tarkov, Ghost Recon Wildlands, that doesn't grow the channel. So I need to be mindful of that as well. Mostly the time, because money, this is going to sound ridiculous when I say it, but money, it's like once you spend it, it's gone. But time, you sort of keep spending, You keep wasting it, you keep using it, misusing it. You know what I mean. So that is that's some food for thought this week. And what else is going on? Nothing really. We're in that dead zone. I'm seeing a lot of YouTubers, people that post sometimes 4 and 5 videos a day, are down to like 1 video every couple days. So I feel like everybody that is into YouTube gaming right now, well, I can't say everybody because I don't follow every channel. There's millions of them. But a lot of the bigger channels seem to be taking a little break, and I think some of that is because there's just not a lot of new content right now. Not a lot of new content. So we'll see how it all shakes out. I'll definitely record a race for you tomorrow. I don't know if it will be race 2 from Brands Hatch or the next round of F1 for the career mode that I'm in is Austria, which is a track that I really like, and I'm really strong on that track. But it's not the most interesting track. It's like a straight with a right turn, and then another straight with a right turn, and then a little I guess the end of sector 2 and the first half of sector 3 have some twisties in, a little bit of twisties, but not the most interesting track. So, I mean, I could knock that race out and then go on. What's after Austria? Something? Hungary, maybe? Oh. Hungary's a fun track. Monaco without the walls. Maybe we could do that one. Yeah. Or Brands Hatch. I mean, Brands Hatch is... it just messes with my head. That's the best way to say it. It just messes with me. It just feels so... almost wrong, unnatural, to just throw the car like that. I don't know. I guess I'm more of a button-down kind of guy, straight-laced kind of guy. Just throwing the car over hills. In fairness, it's not as bad as Oulton Park. Oulton Park is, it's crazy, and Donington's the same way. Not every turn, but there are several turns. 65, yeah, there's several turns at Donington that are like that, where you just it's like you pick where you want to land. Does that make sense? Yeah, you sort of visualize, look at it, where you look is where the car will go. Look at where it is that you want to go, and then just kind of throw the car in that direction. All kinds of crazy things will happen between here and there, but that's sort of where you'll end up, hopefully. Oh, and, of course, do it all in traffic on tires that are melting. Bypass the way station. I would love to. Where are we at on time? 24 minutes. Okay. And it was, what did we say? 8 hours to get there. 4:32. It's about, in my experience, it's about 4 minutes of real time for every hour of forecast game time. So an 8-hour trip should take about 32 minutes. And we are well into Arizona. So we'll see how it goes. And I think, there's a Yuma sign. Now, I don't know if this is the exit for Yuma or if it's just the exit for the road that goes to Yuma. But regardless, I feel like we're getting there.
Keep right, and then exit right.
All right. Anything else? Do I have anything else for you? No, I don't think I do. I downloaded the... I told you this. I downloaded the Pendragon, formerly Oaxaca Volvo for ATS. I do like that truck. And I think... Well, now I have a dilemma. Because I think this may be our last chance to drive it. The current modder has said they are not going to... 1.36 will be the last time they update it. As far as I know, from what they said, from 1.35 to 1.36, all that's different is the manifest number. So the version number, essentially. You have to change it from 1.35 to 1.36, and you're good to go. And that's all that changed. And if that's all that changes from 1.36 to 1.37, I can do that myself. No worries. But if things change in the physics, or, you know what I mean, center of gravity, mass, then I can't get into all that. So we'll see what happens. I would... Trying to do too many things at once. I would... Yeah, I would like to... Oh, you know what? Hang on. Let me tie off this thought, and then we'll go on to the next one. The only way we can drive that truck in our 1.36 profile, where we're sort of we're playing very conservatively and very realistically, the only way to drive that truck would be to borrow €500,000. And because we're no longer running pro mods, when the game patches up from 1.36 to 1.37, well, we're really not running very many mods at all, then we can just continue with this profile. So the only way we can drive that Volvo is if we borrow €500,000 to buy it, because it's, I want to say €348,000 set up the way I want to set it up. Get down here. There's a good gear. All right. Now we could just take that loan out and then walk away from it when we jump to a new save game for 1.37, but we're not going to jump to a new save game, right? If we're not running pro mods, we can just keep this profile going when 1.37 and Iberia drop. So I don't know. I really want to drive that truck, but we sort of committed to staying with the DAF for all of 1.36, so let's do that. Let's stick with the plan. We'll stick with the plan. It's a good plan. It may not be. It's some kind of a plan. Some kind of a plan. And the other thing, so I noticed that it seems to be police cars that are having the late load on the tire textures. I believe those are all coming from Jazzy Cat packs, and I think what's happening is they're actually unzipping, unpacking for that call. So I think that could be what's happening. Or maybe it has something to do with distance, because it seems like they pop in when they're about 100 yards away. Hard to say. Unknown at this time. But other than that... one other thing that sort of relates to that. So I noticed I was having some heat problems. I'm running... this new system has an i7 9700 in it, which is... It's a pretty powerful chip. It's a pretty powerful processor. And it's been running hot. I noticed on some of my graphs that we've been hitting 80 centigrade quite a bit. Centigrade, Celsius. Is there a difference? Centigrade. Celsius. Oh. But we've been hitting 80. And that's a little hot. Now, it never goes above 80. And we're well under our thermal headroom. We're well under our limit. For that chip, it's like 101 or something. So we're fine. We're fine. And even that is calculated with a little bit of a cushion. You know, the actual temperature when that chip melts is, I don't know, probably 110 or something, 120. So we're fine. But it's kind of bugging me. So I got an MSI Afterburner. I built some fan curves, and it's still not running the way I want it to run. So I think probably later today I'm going to go buy a liquid cooling kit with 120 millimeter radiator. What in the world? Clearly we're by a military base. Camp Giant Howitzer. Is that a howitzer? Yeah, I think it is. Or was. Yeah, probably today going to go get a liquid cooling kit. At least for the processor. And I'm a little bit... I mean, I love this tower. And the thing that's really cool about it is it's got a lot of stuff about it that is not used. Like it had a second SSD, well, hard drive bay, and I put an SSD in it. It's got an M2 slot on the motherboard that I was able to upgrade like super quick. It's got just a lot of really handy features, and it's got this giant port in the top of it that takes a 120 millimeter fan that currently is empty. So what I was going to do was put the radiator for the liquid cooling system on the upgraded graphics card that I want to get. I was going to put that fan in there, but I think what I'm going to do is put the CPU cooling in there, and then just go with an air-cooled card, because my card is really not running very hot. Surprisingly so. My card is hitting like 50 at peak use, and the CPU is at 80. So I think for now the focus needs to be on the CPU. Now the other thing I could do, I was looking at air cooling towers. I was looking at Scythe. I was looking at Cryo Rig, and various things we can do without getting into liquid cooling that will really pull a lot of heat off the CPU, and that would still leave that fan port open. Now, in the meantime, I could just put a 120 millimeter fan in there, just venting the cabinet, right? Venting the case, or we could switch it up later. So get the liquid cooling now, and then later get an air cooling tower and put the liquid cooling for the graphics card in there. I don't know. I feel like in some ways getting this tower was a mistake, because it is so modular. All I want to do is mess with it. Like every day I look at it, you know, it's got the lights on, I can see in there. And every time I look at it, I'm like, oh, you know, it would look great in there. You know, it would look great in there. So yeah, I just need to restrain myself. But the liquid cooling, that's not me indulging. That's actually a pretty practical need. So I'm going to go do that this afternoon. And the other thing is, it's got 16 gig of RAM, and you know, there's a debate about this, because some people say 16 gig is all you need. It doesn't matter how big a game is, it doesn't matter how many things are loading, 16 gig is all you need. Any more than that is just showing off. And I think, yeah, you're probably right. However, I do like to show off. Go figure. So I was looking at a couple sticks of Corsair 216s at 3 megahertz. Was all set to pull the trigger on that, and because I'm running MSI Afterburner now, and because I've been using the on-screen display to track my temperatures and really keep an eye on that, I also fired up RAM usage. And of all the games that I play, including the AAA shooters, no game has ever used more than 8 gig of RAM, to the point where I like checked some settings. Is it all allocated? Like, what is going on here? And that's what it's using. So I'm feeling like at this point that would be kind of a waste of money, which honestly has never stopped me before. But I don't know. And then with this liquid cooling, which I was not planning on doing at all, so that's going to be a bit of an expense, an unexpected expense. It's not going to break the bank or anything, but it's still not money that I was planning on spending. So I think for now we'll go with liquid cooling versus RAM. We can always get RAM down the road. Honestly, another reason I want to upgrade the RAM is because I want the RGB kit. I want the lights. I know. I'm like a child. Make it shiny. Make it blinky. I really am. It's... oh my goodness. Ill will. What are we going to do with you? Hey, we're here, I think. Where are we at on time? 34 minutes. Not bad. Not bad. So yeah, that's the takeaway from this week. I'm afraid of Escape from Tarkov. My race career continues to try to like hide itself from my audience. It refuses to be seen. And also we're running a little bit hot. Yeah, it's just a little hot. So yeah, there you have it. I think we're going to be on time. We just got the warning a while ago, but with the time compression, hard to say. Hard to say. It would be no fun to be late. However, we'll still make, I think we're going to make 30,000 for this job. Or we're forecast to if it's on time. We won't have any damage. We didn't hit anything. But no ticket. No ticket. No ticket. Beautiful. So yeah, we should make 30 grand if we're on time.
Get ready to turn left. Turn
Right in
left.
here. You know what my favorite one is?
Turn left.
When we're a minute late. And I know the reason we're a minute late is because I took the time to park. Which I don't mind doing. But you know what I mean? So close.
Turn left.
So close. All right, here we go. Ooh, this one.
Sequence out.
So I guess the only way to do this is to go over here. All right. And then over here. All right, well, this is not a super tricky parking area. Unless I hit that pile of blocks. Nope, we made it. All these good, hard-working people. Turn signal off. Let's get her in reverse. Let's see if we can do this in one swing. I mean, it may give it to us. You know what? I'm going to take it. Normally I wouldn't. But this one, I'm going to take. So, in neutral, set the brake, engine off. Yeah, we're mostly in there. We're mostly in there. Let's see how we did. On time. Fantastic. We got our full 30 grand. 31,000. Fantastic. There you have it. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out The Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of American Truck Simulator. And we'll see you next time. Take care now.